ABC pulling Jimmy Kimmel live off the air indefinitely over comments the host made following the murder of Charlie Kirk. Kimmel linked Kirk's alleged killer to President Trump's Make America Great Again movement. FCC Chair Brendan Carr suggested ABC's broadcast license was at risk because of Kimmel's remarks. Join us now is Puck's Matt Belloni. It's a big difference, Matt, between whether it was in response to Brendan Carr or the FCC or whether it was just in response to what could happen with the middle of the country. Nexstar's has started. They have stations that are not maybe in New York, not in Los Angeles, not in Chicago, where people they're probably hearing from people, from normal people. Not that they're not normal everywhere else, but they certainly have a different viewpoint, the rest of the country does, than those coastal cities or the big cities like Chicago.
That's true. And ABC owns those affiliates in the big major cities like Chicago and LA and New York. But the difference here is that ABC was hearing from both affiliates and explicitly from the FCC chair, who was threatening, saying this is going to be the hard way or the easy way. And that is what really rattled people inside Disney. And they spent most of the day yesterday trying to figure out how to respond to this and quell this sort of uprising over the comments. And Kimmel did not want to apologize. Kimmel had his own way that he wanted to respond on the air. Disney, going all the way up to Dana Walden, who runs the TV division, she very much wanted this to be a clear apology and something that would kind of put this and not make it worse. And they couldn't agree. So ultimately, they just said, OK, we're going to put pause on the show, try to figure out a way forward. Question is, do they have a way forward?
He'll be back. That's my prediction, and it won't be long. Disney has feet of clay. They won't stick to this. So the woke outrage will get to them quickly. I almost wish they had just left him on so that the ratings can dictate exactly what's happened instead of it immediately looking like it's, First Amendment, freedom of speech. He's getting canceled by the government, because that's what we're going to hear. You know what? What do you think's going to happen when he shows up, when he comes back in a week or whenever it is, and he walks out on the stage? It's going to be like a standing ovation. It's going to be like Colbert at the Emmys on steroids.
It will, and I think a lot of those people that were upset by the comment and got riled up on social media weren't watching Jimmy Kimmel anyways.
Anyway, not many people are. Not many people are.
But it still does have millions of viewers, and it's still the videos from the show still have an audience. And unlike Colbert, Kimmel has value to that network. He hosts Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He does the Oscars. He does a lot of different things for Disney and ABC. And his show does make money on YouTube, whereas the Colbert situation was much different. These are not big revenue generators as they once were, but he does have value to the network. So I don't think it's the strict financial conversation that it was more with Colbert. This is something where I think they want him to come back, but Kimmel, I could see him saying, thanks, but no thanks. I don't want to work at a network that doesn't have my back and is going to kowtow to the government when they don't like something I do.
We see how much Colbert wants to stay on the air. I don't see. Maybe that happens. Maybe you're right. I think he'd be happy to. Obscurity comes quickly to someone like that.
Although he's been talking about retirement for years.
Yeah. I haven't heard a non-political joke. I don't think. I don't watch, but maybe it's just the clips that I see. But how long has it been where it's been? Twisting himself into a pretzel to try to get something funny about hating Trump or hating Republicans. You've seen Carson's comments. One thing he would never do is move into the political spectrum to try and make people laugh.
Yeah, but it's a different era. The media.
Are you sure?
The media ecosystem.
Yeah, it's a different era.
Used
to be 8 million viewers. Now it's 1.5 million. Or whatever it is.
Yeah, but there used to be no options, but 3 choices on the network and 1 late night host. I mean, now it's an entirely different environment, and Kimmel does have an audience. ABC renewed him the last time he was up because they like his show, and it does deliver an audience. So that's not the issue here. The issue is what Disney is afraid of from the FCC and the government, and that's why they acted here. The affiliates were upset, but the FCC was very upset. And in this media environment, you see one media company after another bowing to what the administration wants because they're afraid of the power. I mean, look, even in the station group, you have the station group Nexstar wants to buy Tenga and merge. It's a $6 billion deal that has to be approved by the FCC. So they seem to have aligned themselves with what the Trump administration wants, possibly because they want that deal to go through.
Yeah, I mean, The View's been on for how long and gets renewed again and again. I guess it does have to do with where the affiliates that they own are in places where there's an audience for Kimmel and The View, but different audience. Would you say different audience for Nexstar?
Yeah, I mean, it's, of course, it's not Los Angeles or New York, but why did this particular comment cause the uproar? I think that the government's involvement here did matter.
Do you think that, I mean, I saw what the FCC chair was saying, that it's different than cable broadcast licenses. And there is something in there about the public good and everything else. Can you make the argument that lying straight-faced is actually violating some type of agreement to have that license?
Well, we can get into the specifics of what Kimmel didn't say and did say. I mean, it's been somewhat misinterpreted by some. Not a great comment. I will agree with you there. But if there's something false, you let him back on the air and he corrects it and apologizes.
He wouldn't do it,
and moves on.
Wouldn't apologize, right?
Yeah, I mean, if there's an error on this show, then people correct it, apologize, and move on. I mean, if we're going by what's true on television, I mean, there's stuff that ends up false on TV all the time. And remember, Kimmel is a comedy show. It's not the nightly news. And he does have an audience that wants to hear that particular kind of political comedy. So it's not like it's very unusual for the FCC to all of a sudden decide that something is not in the public good when this is a show that's been on for decades now. You know, they were waiting. They were waiting for this kind of a situation to pounce.